Hey everybody, it's AJ for Disney Food Blog, and today we've got a great one for you. We are going to help you save some money or find some great deals in Walt Disney World when it comes to dining. This is what we're all about here at DFB, at Disney Food Blog, is to make sure you get the best bang for your buck, the best deal, and the best food for your dollar when you are in Walt Disney World. So let's get started talking about some great dining deals you can find in Walt Disney World if you just look a little bit harder than everybody else. First up, this is one of my favorites. In the day and age of social media, basically, many of the third-party Disney World restaurants have social media channels. They are on Facebook, they are on Instagram, they are on Twitter. And when I say third-party, I mean restaurants around Walt Disney World and in Walt Disney World that are owned not by Disney World. So they're owned by another company, another restaurant company. And believe it or not, there are a lot of these right now. All of the restaurants in the Mexico Pavilion are owned by a third party. All of the restaurants in the Italy Pavilion are owned by a third party. Most of the restaurants in Disney Springs are owned by a third party. There's a few in Animal Kingdom. There are definitely lots of opportunities to get some deals. Follow them on social media. See when they have special deals, special offers, and some of them even have great special events that you can go meet famous chefs, try out some new menu items before anybody else is able to do it, and get some great discounts depending on the time of year, the time of day even, when we start talking about happy hours and things like that. So stay tuned to their social media channels and be sure to note when those deals are going to come. Next up, along the same lines, be sure to subscribe to restaurant newsletters or their discount programs or get their discount cards. There are rewards apps like for Blaze Pizza. There's an Earl of Sandwich loyalty program. There's a Sprinkles loyalty program. Landry's Restaurants has a loyalty program. They run several restaurants in Walt Disney World. You can sign up for newsletters for many companies that own restaurants in Walt Disney World and Disneyland. These are great ways to get notified of new discounts, new restaurant openings. You can join some of their loyalty programs and get birthday rewards or other discounts, things like that. And it's definitely worth it because usually it's free. And if it's not free, then you get that money back at some point, whether it's on your birthday or something like that, you get that money back. Great thing to definitely look into some of those restaurant loyalty programs, those newsletters, and those discount cards for these third-party programs. Just an FYI, in our DFB Guide to Walt Disney World Dining, we have an entire chapter on dining discounts, including the links to all of the programs that I'm talking about. These programs that are the third-party loyalty programs and newsletters and discount cards and things like that. We've got links to all of those in our DFB Guide to Walt Disney World Dining, which you can get over on dfbstore.com. Next up, consider a Tables in Wonderland card. If you haven't heard of Tables in Wonderland, this is a dining discount program that is available to annual pass holders for Walt Disney World, Disney Vacation Club members, and Florida residents. So if you fall into any of those amenity groups, really consider a Tables in Wonderland program. This is basically a frequent diners card. It costs $175 for Florida residents per year and $150 for annual pass holders and Disney Vacation Club members per year. And it gives you 20% off your food and your beverage, including alcohol, at most of the restaurants in Walt Disney, the table service restaurants in Walt Disney World. And in resorts that don't have a table service restaurant, like value resorts, you can actually use it at the food courts in those resorts. So even if you are at Walt Disney World for 7 days, 10 days, depending on how much table service you're going to eat and how much alcohol you drink, you can actually save quite a bit of money if you put in the initial investment of the $175 or the $150. You think a lot of Disney World table service meals, if you're feeding your whole family, you're running into the $200 range. So 20% off of that, you've already paid for a quarter of the cost right there just in one meal. So definitely do the math, consider it. Usually I find that if people qualify for a Tables in Wonderland card and are considering it, it's probably worth it for them because that means that they eat quite a bit of table service and they're in Disney World often enough to make good use of a Tables in Wonderland card. Also note that Tables in Wonderland members sometimes get access to special events. This has become less and less in recent years, but every once in a while Tables in Wonderland members will have access to special events, and Tables in Wonderland members also have access to early booking for the Epcot Food and Wine Festival events. Here's a little tip if you do purchase a Tables in Wonderland card. If you get it in, say, January, it's going to be good until the end of January the following year. So if you get it on January 1st and it's good until January 31st of the following year, you can basically get an extra month out of it. So try to buy your Tables in Wonderland card as close to the beginning of the month as possible. All right, next up, keep Orlando Magical Dining Month on your calendar. We've just missed it for this year. Orlando Magical Dining Month is usually in September, but Magical Dining Month offers prefix menus basically for many dining locations around the Orlando area and also a few in Walt Disney World as well. You can get a good amount of food, great food for a very low price if you take part in Orlando Magical Dining Month. And of course, part of the proceeds go to charity. So, you're not only getting great food for a lowish price, you're also benefiting a charity in Orlando. So every year the list changes. Every year the Walt Disney World participants change. So just keep an eye on Disney Food Blog. We will promote it and let you know when Magical Dining Month is happening and who's participating in it in 2019. Speaking of prefix menus can actually be a hidden cost savings for you as well. There are several locations in Walt Disney World that do run prefix menus every once in a while. Chefs de France has a prefix menu all the time. Enzo's Hideaway has it as part of their Sunday supper. Tiffin's has a prefix menu. Every once in a while, these will actually save you money versus if you were going to purchase these items standalone on the menu. So again, do the math, but keep an eye on the prefix options because this can be a great source of savings for you if it's at a restaurant you're interested in. And finally, keep an eye out for hidden gems and special experiences. These are great options and good deals. Things like the Epcot Wine Walk. This has been around for 1,000,000 years. It's the World Showcase Wine Walk. The price has gone up a little bit in the past few years, but nothing overwhelming. It's still a good deal. It's still a fun adventure, something a lot of people don't even know happens. Pizzafari has a family-style dinner that is a ton of food. That is a counter service credit. That's a super great deal. There's often one-off deals on these restaurant menus like bottomless milkshakes, which I'm not sure how great a deal that is because if you can actually stomach multiple milkshakes, then you are a more advanced person than I am. I can never do more than one, but there are several locations, Wilderness Lodge, Whispering Canyon Cafe, and the Plaza Restaurant in the Magic Kingdom both have bottomless milkshakes on their menu. There are those great Animal Kingdom restaurant tours where they actually have some samples of some of their most popular eats like the soups at Boma, the breads at Jiko, and that's completely free. So there are some great fun experiences that are worth your while, worth your time, don't cost too much money, and are definitely a lot of fun. Things that, your neighbors who went to Disney World last spring break, they didn't do these things. So it'd be fun for you to be able to do them and report back. So there are a few great Disney dining deals, things that you got to just research just a little bit extra and you can actually find some good cost savings, some great experiences, some great food, and good opportunities for you on your next Walt Disney World trip. Again, like I said, we have all this information in the DFB Guide to Walt Disney World Dining. Tons of great, highly researched and highly experienced information as well. So keep an eye on DFB Store for the DFB Guide to Walt Disney World Dining. As always, thanks for listening and thanks for watching. This is AJ for Disney Food Vlog, and we'll see you real soon.